Sorry for the inconvenience, y'all. A little delay or a little setback, little technical difficulties on this end. So I'm trying to make sure that it is on my regular page as well. So give me 1 second and we will get started. Okay. So give me 1 second and we'll get into it.
Five's Chad Petrie has the story.
When you get a fast food meal, no one expects to be called a little ugly dude.
We get the receipt.
MICAH Beats activated.
Welcome to Just Therapy, where we talk about life with a comedy twist. With your hosts, comedian Sean Boyd, Antonio Ferguson, and Miss KT. We talk about a whole bunch of shit from politics to people actually taking shits. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the therapy session. Man, this be dope. Make a motherfucker want to rap. I can't rap, man. Hold on, here we go. I can't rap. I really can't. But come sit down on the couch with us. Man, I can't rap. Come to the couch. Enjoy the show. Let's go. Just another day on the couch, talking about all the problems of today. Welcome back to another episode of Just Therapy. It is another beautiful Monday evening, y'all. Woo! It's beautiful outside. It's a little cold today, but it's going to be right back to 80 tomorrow. So I am not outside enjoying beautiful weather today like last week. But we are here. Well, I am here. Yes. So, unfortunately, my co-host with the mostest is feeling a little under the weather. So, make sure you send some prayers and healing energy towards Miss BBC. Send them her way so she can feel better and be back on board with me next week, God willing. But yes, today is the day. I hope you did not have a horrible work Monday, but we are here to wrap up your Monday with a bang with some therapy on the couch. So please make sure you chime in all episode. I'm not going to be here too long. I don't know. Y'all know me. I get to talking, I get to going, I get some good topics in me, and I got a lot to say, but I cannot do that without y'all. So please make sure you chime in. Unfortunately, having a little technical difficulties on my Facebook page, so it is only on YouTube and the Just Therapy Beat podcast page on Facebook. But that's where I actually want you to be at anyway, so you can chime in. I can see your comments. I can put them on the screen. I can read them comments. And I need your help today because I just don't want to be talking to myself the whole damn time, because that's what it feels like when I'm on here by myself, unless people chiming in. But you know how we do. Used to do it all the time for 9 months straight, like it was a pregnancy by myself, just bringing guests after guests after guests after guests, just me and the guests. And then sometimes it would just be me and you. Ooh, baby. Yes, I'm in a good mood. You already know what it is. I gotta wet the whistle real quick though. All right. So unfortunately, it is not showing up on my personal page, but we are still here. So I'm still trying to work on that on my end, which y'all don't get to see all the backstage kind of shit that I'm working with over here. But the computer is up and running, as you see. So that's a good thing. It's probably Miss BBC's fault by what, when my computer always mess up. But, that's a different story. So let's get into it. Y'all, listen. We always like to start with a recap, talk about what happened to us during the weekend. And my weekend was pretty cool, pretty short, pretty quick. Dropped off little mama on Friday to her mom. Before we did that, we went to breakfast, ate breakfast. And we usually go to Bob Evans. That's like our little thing because my mom was a big fan of Bob Evans. So we would go there all the time, me and her and my son. And so I just keep that tradition going with little mama. Plus, I like to do that father-daughter date, even though she young. She go, no, like, hey, my dad took me to dinner all the time or to breakfast all the time. So this shit ain't nothing new. So you ain't doing nothing new. But so we did that. It was funny because, usually she get to rise and shine, which is, some eggs, bacon, and, the home fries, the cube ones. And she was like, she didn't want the cubed potatoes today. She wanted broccoli. So she had broccoli with her breakfast and, of course, finished her broccoli before she even finished her eggs. But she ate good and ate everything. So then I dropped her off Friday. Friday, we had softball in the evening. 2 really good games. We lost both games by 1. So it is what it is. But it happens. And then Saturday made me some money, went umpired for the day, trying to get some extra cash for my vacation that's coming up real quick. So I did that on Saturday. Some really good games. And, just me being me, when I umpire, I know a lot of the softball community, so they know me by name. And, other people call me Blue. That's what they call the umpire. Other people be like Sean. And, and I don't really care because they know me. So I don't care if they use my name. But some really good games. Didn't really have too much of a huff and fuss, I guess I want to say, until the last game of what I had to do. I was doing 6 games straight, but then like my field was running ahead. And so I had to wait an entire game because I was waiting on the other field, which they was in their 5th game. I was ready to start my 6th game. So I had to wait on them. So that last game was really, really good. And, everybody, they joking and having a good time. It's a real intense game. It was the 1 and 2 seed because it was for the king seat to see who stayed undefeated or whatever. And they were at a point where they just really didn't put up runs. It was a 1 and 2 seed, and the game was like tied at 6s for a long time until the very end. And so the away team, it went to the 8th inning because softball is only 7 innings, but it went into the 8th inning, and the away team got up. They had a nice 8th inning. The top. They was up 4, so all they got to do is, get 3 outs, and they pitcher, was on the roll, and then next thing you know, he just lost it. And I've seen it before. It's happened to me before as a pitcher, where you moving and grooving, and then next thing you know, you lost it, and you cannot find the strike zone to save your life. And they end up getting 2 outs. 1 scored, and then he started walking people, just lost it. And then so of course, at the end of the game, they say it's my fault. But the whole time they joking and laughing with me. Now they mad, talking about it's my fault that they lost because he walked people. Like, the strike zone ain't changed, motherfucker. The strike zone was still the same for the other pitcher as well as you. The zone never changed, but now it's my fault because you couldn't find a strike to save your life. Like, y'all was up. So, what it is what it is. So they can blame it on me all they want. I really don't give a fuck about that. And then yesterday, Sunday, another softball Sunday. It was weird because usually it's double headers, but they did something stupid because the guys knew or whatever. But so we played a team we played at the beginning of the season and beat them twice, and they only scored a combined 6 runs against us. Like, we haven't been giving up a lot of runs, period. You know, my defense has been behind me and I've been pitching great, and we needed subs. And, you know, it's hard to replace good players with mediocre players, right? Like, so we had a total of 4 subs, so we was missing 4 key players. 2 of them is crucial because you got 4 subs. Two of the subs, like one sub I know personally, so he was like a good replacement for the guy we was missing. But then the other sub was not like equivalent to this guy's skill level that's on the team, so that hurts. And then the ladies that we got wasn't equivalent to the ladies we were missing, and that kind of hurts. So oh my gosh, it was like irritating because it was so many routine plays that, you know, the fielding messed up, and we end up losing by 1 to a team we shouldn't have lost to. But it's okay. I told them, make sure y'all make the playoffs so we can whoop y'all ass, because that was the most runs y'all scored on us ever, and it won't happen again with my regular defense. But, you know, it is what it is. Then we beat up on a team, which, you know, the next game. So whatever, you know how softball goes. And now we're here. So, you know, that was my recap for this weekend. We always like to do childhood memories, y'all. Y'all know what we do. You get into our past, especially my past, since we've been doing this for 3 years, going on 4. And it's funny because I was talking to one of the original co-hosts, Mr. Antonio Ferguson. We was talking a little earlier, and he was like, "Oh man, last week you ain't have me on the show. You know, we always do the sex topic show together, blah blah blah." I'm like, man, when you really think about it, this was our 4th June that we've done as a podcast. The first year we did a whole literally 2, I think it was a 3-hour and 25-minute episode, still on Spotify, still the most listened to episode. Go back and check it out. But all we did was talk about sex the whole entire time. We had 3 guests, 3 ladies, and it was me and Mr. Ferguson, and it was a funny and interesting and just great episode. And so the following year I didn't do it, and then last year we did another sex episode. It was me, BBC, Miss ZZ, and Mr. Ferguson again. Great episode. It was about 2 and some change. So this past, Monday, I didn't really want to do an all-inclusive sex episode. But just bringing that back up since I talked to him today. But childhood memories, Father's Day is coming up this Sunday. So make sure you hold your father tight. Make sure you buy him something nice. But my childhood memory is going to be one about my father, since Father's Day is coming up. I remember, he used to always tell us, a bullet ain't had no name. Which is great advice, because that's basically saying you don't want to be in the wrong place at the wrong time, because a bullet ain't got no name. He used to always give us real good information and just stuff to live by. So kudos to Pops. So my memory will be about when he used to tell us not to go to some people we grew up with house. He didn't want us over there, right? And they lived literally 2 houses up. Like, they was my best friends growing up. So we was always hanging, kicking it. And he didn't mind if I hung out and kicked it with him. I just couldn't go to their house. So I used to go around. It was a way where it was like an old creek, and I can go up that back hill and be in their backyard. So I used to do that a lot. And my parents' bedroom window can see their driveway. And I remember one time I was hanging with one of the brothers that I no longer even talk to, but I'm hanging with him, and we in this horizon with some sounds, and oh my gosh, I used to think I would never be able to hear as an adult, because this shit used to ring my ears so much. And he had to stop by the house again to hook up somebody else's system, right? And me, his kid's mom was in the car, and the baby next to me. I'm in the back seat, but I'm kind of laying down on the car seat to, make sure my dad didn't see me in the back seat of this car, right? And it was funny because I'm sitting there, and next thing you know, his kid's mom was like, Sean. I'm like, what's up? She like, your dad just pulled in the driveway. I'm like, quit fucking playing with me. That, like, that shit ain't even funny. Like, that's not funny at all. She was like, I am dead serious. I'm not even playing with you. He is right behind the car in you know what I'm saying, in the Cadillac. And I'm like, son of a bitch. So I'm still laying down. Like, I'm like, fuck that. I ain't about to get up. Because I already know it's about to go down. And hopefully he just thought it was me, but he don't see me, you know what I'm saying? So I'm still laying down and he ain't moving. And she like, he's not moving. And next thing you know, the dude came up to the car and was like, hey, your dad is telling you to get out the car. I'm like, son of a bitch. So I get out the car, I jump in the Cadillac in the passenger seat. My dad just gave me this look, didn't say anything, backed out the driveway. Now, mind you, we are 2 doors down from their house, right? Like, my house is on the corner, down the hill a little bit, and they were up the hill a little bit, but you can see the house. He literally backs out the driveway, slams on the gas, and skirts, like literally peels rubber down 2 driveways, spins and pulls in the driveway, and then throws the car in park. Like, literally, it just wasn't like, it was crazy because it was like whipped in the damn driveway. And he just gave me that look and was like, you ain't supposed to be up there. And he gave me that look where I was like, man, I'm in fucking trouble. Didn't get my ass whooped that day, thankfully, but like, he didn't even have to raise his voice. Anything he said, he meant business. Like, that's who my dad was. And it's hilarious to still think about that because I don't understand how he knew I was up there, because literally before we even hit the corner, I was already laying down. We pulled in the driveway. I never lifted my head up, not one time. But his ass knew I was in that back seat of that damn car and I wasn't supposed to be up at their house. So that is my childhood memory this week. All right. So keeping it moving. Let me get a sip real quick. Hey, y'all, make sure y'all chime in on the comments, please. I don't want to just be talking to myself the whole time, though, y'all. Especially if you got some funny stories about your dad you want to share, please throw them in here, y'all. I definitely read them. But so the next topic is, of course, flowers while they're still here. One of our favorite topics on the show. We always like to give people flowers while they're still here so they can smell those roses instead of being conditioned like so many of us are to give people flowers while they dead and gone at their funeral. So my flowers this week is a probably 2-timer, maybe even a 3-timer of me giving them flowers. My flowers this week has to go to my beautiful girlfriend, Lisa Cardellini. Baby, I got to give you flowers again just for the simple fact our 1-year anniversary of dating is tomorrow. So big shout out to that. But I just got to give you flowers just because, this has been a dope year, just being in a relationship with you, having you as my friend, having you as my confidant, be able to talk to you about anything. We can talk about our days and we don't sugarcoat anything, and we can just be straight up and honest. And I love that about our relationship. So and just you being a good person and a good people. Sometimes you irritate me, but you know what that is, because you just gotta know everything. And sometimes I really don't need to know shit. It's like, I really don't care, but that's just who you are. And I love that and appreciate you for that. So baby, you getting your flowers again today. So still trying to get this up on my page to see. Nope, it's still not working. All right. So that was the flowers while they're still here. Let's get into the topics. Listen. So I got some topics. We're not talking about. We're not gonna do the topics that we were supposed to do because I don't want to do them without Miss BBC. But I do have some topics for y'all. Of course, y'all know it is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. It's June, and so I'll touch on that a little bit after I hit the topics. But big shout out to that because mental health is serious, and you already know how I feel about mental health, period, as a whole. All right. So I did this on purpose, and I'm like, I'm by myself. So you already know I got video, so I can hit my vape, take a drink, you know what I'm saying? So I can do what I need to do. But our first topic on the docket, I got video. So you already know what it is. So our first topic on the docket is
Tonight at 5, a Pulaski County Special School District teacher is facing sexual assault charges for an alleged relationship with a minor she met at her church. 26-year-old Reagan Gray turned herself into Pulaski County authorities on Wednesday. According to court documents, she admitted to a physical relationship with a student in the Emmanuel Baptist Church Youth Ministry where she volunteered. She's free on a $20,000 bond, pleaded not guilty. Her court date is set for June 17th here in Little Rock in the district court. Her lawyer tells us they would not comment on the details, but are trusting the legal process.
Another one and another one. Listen, we hear this so often, right? With these older females sexually assaulting minors, right? Having sexual relationship with minors. And it always brings me back to one of a great funny movie by Adam Sandler called That's My Boy. And that movie is about the first teacher to have sexual relations with a minor at a school and ends up getting pregnant and ends up in jail. Phenomenal, hilarious movie. Make sure you check it out. Because so anytime I hear something like this, it always brings me back to that movie. You know what I'm saying? And y'all know Adam Sandler is hilarious, and that movie is funny as fuck. So it always puts me in the mind of that. So I always start to laugh and talk about it or whatever in that situation, right? So she was a volunteer. She was a teacher and a volunteer at her church in the youth choir, y'all. In the youth choir. So she's singing with these kids and, you know, helping them learn how to sing and singing, you know, praise and worship songs at the church, volunteer at the church, 26-year-old having relations with the 15-year-old, right? And this is this is the thing about this story. I wrote this down in my notes to talk about a while ago, okay? But I actually think this is even a newer case than the case I was going to talk about, because I swore up and down the case I was going to talk about was about a black lady that volunteered at the church and had sexual relations with a minor from the choir. But I could be wrong. So, because like they talking about she in the choir, she, you know, volunteered for the choir and all that. So I could be wrong. But 26-year-old, right? The kid was 15, okay? The way they found out, because, you know, my first instinct as a male is to be like, who snitched on him? You know what I'm saying? Did he tell, you know what I'm saying, did another kid snitch because they wasn't getting none? You know what I'm saying? What happened? Like, how did they find out, you know? So the way they found out was the mom of the kid was going through his phone and found text messages on his phone, okay? Now, according to, you know, the story, she never actually had sexual intercourse with the 15-year-old. She was just giving the boys some dome, some head, some sloppy toppy. Oh gosh, y'all know I can keep going on and on. Some dome, some like, hey, I'm just, you know, just blowing the piper, you know what I'm saying? And don't worry, little mama with her mom this week, so I'm by myself laughing. You already would have heard her by now, especially I'm by myself. She'd have been in my lap. But this teacher, volunteer at the church, was giving this kid some dome, right? But then they say this was an ongoing thing and she just got caught recently, right? So they saying this might have been going on for maybe 2 years, that she was having sexual relations with this minor, giving him top. You know what I'm saying? Slobbing on the knob, you know, bobbing and weaving, you know what I'm saying, on the little the tickler, you know, like she was getting this dude ready. Like, listen, I'm laughing, but we know it's serious, right? We know it's serious because some people have different things happen on later in their life because of situations like this, right? Where they either might become a sexual a sexual addict, you know what I'm saying? They might be sex addicted and don't know how to show their true feelings or their true sexual fantasies when they get older because they were tampered with at a very young age by a grown adult. Okay, so it's not a laughing matter. I'm laughing because of the shit I was saying because still it's kind of funny just a little bit, right? But so yeah, she's about to get charged. You seen the court date is coming up this month. Actually, I think it said June 7th, so it might be an update if I look because that was a couple days ago. But I had to talk to y'all about this story, and I wish BBC was here so she can shine some light on this subject. But Couchers, talk to me, y'all. What do y'all think about this particular story? This 26-year-old volunteer, which was cute, by the way, sexually assaulted a choir boy, pretty much. Volunteer at the church and was, helping out sexually. And so what do y'all think about that? Talk to me, y'all. Chime in a little bit while I take a drink. Because I mean, it's a lot to unbox on this particular situation, Because when you think about it, like, she has issues because, like I said, she wasn't ugly. She was cute. Y'all seen the video? I mean, I'll show the video again. It's only like 30 seconds, but you can clearly see she's not an ugly woman. She's 26. I'm sure there are a lot of guys that are beating down her door, or at least not physically, but trying to figure out what's going on and want to holler at her and stuff like that. Oh, thank you, baby. Happy anniversary to you too, baby. But it's a lot. So Lisa chimed in. She said, so when do we start calling it what it is? Like this is some sort of mental illness, right? I mean, technically it is a mental illness. And when you think about it that way, yes, because she is mentally ill and challenged with her sexual things. And she's a predator because she wants younger, like teenage boys, which to me doesn't make any sense, right? Because when you really think about it, especially like when I think about stuff like that, it's like there's no way, like there's an age limit that I won't go under, like at all anymore because of the age I am. Like when I was 30, I ended up messing with a chick that was 19 and a chick that was 18, right? And I didn't even want to do that at that time, but it happened. You know what I'm saying? Neither one of them was in school or anything like that, so I'm not fucking crazy. But like with these 26-year-olds or 30-year-olds or 20-year-olds, 30-year-olds, young 30s, because most of them are in that young 30s to 20 age range when we hear these stories about them having sexual relationships with minors, right? But then it goes to is it going to be a double standard? Is she going to get the time that the male predators get? You know what I'm saying? Because some of the male predators, when they're teachers having relationships with these students that are in high school and stuff like that, they get big, lengthy sentences. But a lot of times these females don't get anywhere near these sentences. You know what I'm saying? The sentences be so drastically different because it's a male to female, not a female to male. Because like when you think about it, society is so messed up. Like, I was joking about it, but when you are a male, you like, oh, you want an older woman. You know what I'm saying? You sit back and have that discussion. Like, did you have any fine teachers that you would have knocked off? You know what I'm saying? Or you had crushes on, stuff like that. So it's the society we brought up in, and it's ingrained in us to where, you know, as a male, we think more deviantly. I guess that will be it. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, you have males that be like, oh, I'm jealous of that kid or such and such, such and such. And you know what I'm saying? Like, so it is a mental illness when you start calling it what it is. It is. But the simple fact of it still goes back to, will it be a double standard? Will she get the amount of time that sexual predators should actually get? You know what I'm saying? So we'll definitely keep you updated and post it especially about how much time she ends up getting. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, stay tuned, because, you know, we'll definitely update you on that. I love to do updates. You know, y'all know I love to do updates, because if I talk about something and I get an update on it, I got to talk about it again, so y'all know what's going on with that certain case. But it's a lot to, like I said, unpacking that situation. I'm glad you brought that up as far as, you know, so when do we start calling it what it is? You know, it is some sort of mental illness, because that is, you know, that chemical imbalance where they want to go after, you know, teenage boys and girls in that situation. But it always makes me think, will they get the required, you know, the right amount of time because of that double standard? You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, you know, that can open a lot. We'll definitely have to dive into that again, because we've talked about it before on here about that, because we've had several stories about teachers getting caught with minors and students and things like that, you know. So we'll definitely, of course, it'd never go away, because it's continuing to be prevalent and continuing to happen. So definitely looking for an update on that. Yeah, so that's the first topic on the docket. All right, second topic on the docket. Listen, man, I'm about to kill y'all with not kill y'all, but definitely more videos. Y'all got more videos. Y'all know what I do, especially when I'm by myself, man. I get the break when I can watch the video. But here's the next topic. I wanted to know if y'all knew about this. I heard this a while ago and I wanted to bring it up, but this was a great day to bring it up because I'm here by myself, so I can discuss it on what I think about it and seeing what's what on this situation. So do y'all remember when this happened?
Behind me on the DJ table is one of the most prolific producers that hip hop has ever presented, the mighty Mad Lib. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for hip hop history. I am going to kill that. Wait, I gotta see this. Thank God that was clumsy. He's back there getting stomped.
So we remember when that happened. Sorry I let it play that long, but wanted to sip something and hit my vape real quick. But yeah, so we remember that video. I know everybody remembers that video when Dave Chappelle got attacked by that guy. And of course, later on, he said why he attacked him, which really made no sense to me. But so reason why I showed you that video is because man who attacked Dave Chappelle at Hollywood Bowl files lawsuit against venue. Yeah, exactly. The man who tackled comedian Dave Chappelle on stage 2 years ago has sued the Hollywood Bowl and its security team, alleging negligent security and battery, right? Isaiah Lee, who pleaded no contest to charges related to the 2022 incident and was sentenced to jail because of it, alleged in a civil lawsuit that security guards employed at the venue for the Dave Chappelle and Friends event pulled Lee off of Chappelle and began beating him ruthlessly, spitting on him, and dislocating his arm intentionally. Okay. In the complaint filed in LA County Superior Court on Friday, exactly 2 years after the incident, the 25-year-old who identifies as bisexual and has experience. Why do they have to put his sexual orientation in this article? Right? I'm gonna keep reading though. Who identifies as bisexual and has experienced homelessness, said he tackled Chappelle after the Dreamer star unleashed a barrage of homophobic and transphobic jokes and joked about homelessness during the inaugural Netflix Is a Joke comedy festival. The complaint, obtained Monday by The Times, said Lee became upset by the discriminatory nature of the comedian's jokes and rushed the stage in protest as the show ended. Okay, so he says all this, but he had a fake gun wrapped up with a knife on top of the fake handgun. Sounds more premeditated to me because he got past security with this to attack Chappelle, right? But then wants to say, oh, he didn't like his comments when he was on stage, blah, blah, blah. And an old video where he's, talking about and making jokes and making light of different situations. So now he wants to, again, file charges against the venue. Instead of intervening to protect Lee, right? The defendants allowed members of the comedian's entourage, encouraged by the comedian, to beat Lee. The lawsuit said the complaint also said that a knife fell out of Lee's pocket well after the altercation was underway, and that its presence did not justify the force used against him. I gotta keep reading because, like, you already know I got a lot to say about this, but I gotta keep reading because this shit's hilarious to me. Jonathan D. Evans, Lee's attorney, argued that the Hollywood Bowl and the unidentified Doe security companies were aware of Chappelle's history of making offensive jokes that target the LGBTQ plus community, as well as his propensity for making discriminatory remarks, but took no measures to prevent or mitigate the potential harm caused by such offensive material. The Firebrand comic, wow, who is not listed as a defendant in Lee's lawsuit, made headlines for months ahead of the incident because of the jokes he made in his 21 Netflix special, The Closer. Okay, which resulted in an employee walkout for the streaming giant in broad criticism of Chappelle's work. Okay, so let's unbox this shit real quick. Because the simple fact of, so you mean to tell me he's suing the security company and the venue because they didn't rescue him, right? They didn't rescue him after he attacked somebody in front of all these people with a fake gun and a knife. Because we all seen the pictures of the fake gun and the knife wrapped around the gun. We seen the pictures because they confiscated it from him. Okay. So he wanted to be rescued by security after he tackled and assaulted somebody on stage, but he wanted to be rescued. He is lucky he didn't get shot and killed, because as real security, you're supposed to protect your asset at all costs. If the asset is in danger of their life, they are allowed to use brutal force in that situation. Okay? So he's lucky he didn't get killed in that situation, but he wants to sue them because he didn't get protected by the security for assaulting somebody that the security was supposed to protect. Like, make it make sense, y'all. Make it make sense. It just doesn't. That's one of my biggest things. Make it make sense. It doesn't, okay? It just doesn't. Lisa chimed in and said, if you're going to, going to tackle someone on stage, you should probably know how to fight better. Absolutely correct. Like, when this first happened, we talked about this on the podcast. Of course, that's why we updates. I just said I like to do updates. That's why I'm coming with this story, because it's an update, right? 2 years after this shit happened, now he wants to file a lawsuit against the security in the venue, right? If he would have knew how to fight better, actually, if he would have knew how to have some fucking common restraint and know how to deal and how to cope with certain situations, his ass would have never got fucked up and his arm wouldn't have been in a sling and he wouldn't attack Dave Chappelle because of what he said out of his mouth. And my whole thing is, if you are, because they said it in the article, if he is bisexual and didn't like Dave Chappelle's material, and you know what his material is, why did you pay the price of a ticket to come see Dave Chappelle at another thing if you didn't plan on attacking Chappelle? Make it make sense, y'all. You can't keep crying over spilled milk and then continue to pay for shit that you don't like to protest or attack people, right? So let's make it make sense. Let's make it make sense. Y'all know I'm a big advocate for the LGBTQ plus community, right? Big advocate. Have no problems with them at all. But you got to make it make sense. You got to make it make sense. Seriously. And I wish I had a member of the LGBTQ community on the podcast with me right now, so we could discuss what I'm about to say. But because I'm about to say it anyway. I'm in it, y'all. I'm in it. Y'all know what it is. Make it make sense, right? You tried to cancel somebody that is a legend, living legend in the comedy game, hilarious, insightful, right? Who had several good friends that were transgender and gay, right? But then you get mad because they can't make jokes about your situation? Huh? I'm sorry, huh? Like, please, make it make sense. Make it make sense. I'm a comedian. Y'all know that. My job, of course, is to make you laugh, but also to piss people off. Because there's been plenty of times where I've gone to a all people of the lighter hue, as my pastor likes to say, venue, right? Where I'm the only person of the darker hue in about a 50, maybe 100-mile radius, right? And I used to make jokes all the time. I used to go by the typical but untypical black male, right? Atypical for you English majors. I do know my English language, but it just sounds better to say typical but untypical assholes. And I would do it on purpose, right? I would do it on purpose. I did. Because the shit was funny to me. And it makes them think how stupid some of their sayings and some of their words and some of their actions towards different lifestyles or different people or different ethnic backgrounds, some of the shit they do. So I make light of it and make them laugh and make them think, damn, that was stupid. Why did I act like that towards this person? Because they're of different shade than I am, or they vote a different way than I do. But we all bleed red. We all want the same thing. We all want success, or just to be able to not struggle. We all want the best for our children, right? So I did the jokes to make them think, but then to make them laugh at how stupid some of the shit that some people do, right? I used to do the untypical jokes all the time, right? And the typical jokes. I had it. It worked. It wasn't pandering. It was what I did, because it was shit that I went through, right? Being the token black guy, it's funny to me. You know what I'm saying? I got a group of people from Menor, the way of Menor softball, because I think it's funny. You know what I'm saying? It's funny to me. It doesn't bother me being the only black guy on the softball field some days. I named the team Team Token because I was the only black guy on the team. It didn't bother me. I made a jersey where everybody was one shade and it was a blue dude in the middle, right? Because that was the token, right? It didn't bother me. But you tell me and tell other people that they can't talk about you or make fun or make light of a situation because you get all butthurt, right? Why? Doesn't make any sense. How can you get butthurt when you got people in your own community that hate transgender people, right? Y'all supposed to be a community. Community means we're together. But it's so many people in the community that don't like people in their community. Make it make sense, y'all. So how can you sit here and say, oh, I'm going to sue the security because, you know, the security didn't protect me when I tried to assault somebody they were protecting. And then I have my lawyer say the security should have known he can get attacked because of what he said about the LGBTQ plus community. Make it make fucking sense, y'all. Please. Please make it make sense, because it doesn't. Like at all, whatsoever. Like, come on now. You sound stupid right now. You do. And don't forget that I love the LGBTQ plus community. I got people in that community that I call family, right? That I call family. So you can't say I'm a hater at all. I just want you to make it make sense. That's all. I just want you to make it make sense. Make it make sense, please. Because it just doesn't. And it just don't make no sense when it doesn't make sense to me. So I'm going to ask you something to make it make sense again, right? Because when I ask you the question, because it's not making sense, and I ask you to make it make sense, and then you can't do that, it makes you think, like, damn, he got a point. It doesn't make sense. Maybe I do need to make it make sense. I think that's what the fucking episode is going to be. That's the name of the episode. Make it make sense. That's the name of the episode right there. Make it make sense. Because you don't. So many people don't. You can't sit here and cry and complain about other cultures and other ways and being, you know, reprimanded and people that held us down and did this and did that when you really ain't making it make sense. Or my parents did this. They raised me this way. They didn't treat me the right way. And I don't like my parents anymore, so I don't talk to them or this and that. Make it make sense. Because it has to. And if it don't, I mean, what's the point? Because if it don't make sense, what's the point? You just sitting there running off at the mouth. Sitting there bumping your gums. But it don't make sense, please. You already know what I'm about to say, but I'm about to sip this, and you already know what I'm gonna say. So while I sip this, you say what I was about to say. Because you got to make it make sense. Seriously. But I had to give y'all that update on that because that just was laughable to me. Like, you go sue the security company because they didn't protect you. That could have been today's crazy, funny, fucked up news. Seriously, because I'm gonna sue a security company for not protecting me and not coming to save me when I try to hurt somebody because they said something that hurt my feelings. They said something that hurt me. So I'm mad and I'm going to attack somebody because they said something to hurt me. Come, get the fuck out of here, man. Make it make sense, y'all. Make it make sense, please. Ooh, it's a good episode right here. I'm enjoying this shit. I'm hyped. Whoa. You already know when I get hyped, it's going down. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So let's get into it. It is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month this month. I put up a post not too long ago saying, hey, did you know it was Men's Mental Health Awareness Month? Why not? Because not a lot of times. Can we say 95? Can I say 95% of the time? Is that an accurate number, you think? Men get shitted on a lot, right? They do. We do. And I get it. It is a lot of fucked up people out here, right? Men and women, right? But men always get the short end of the stick, y'all. Growing up, all we hear is, man, is you got to be strong. You can't cry. Don't let him see you sweat. You got to be strong. You got to take care of your responsibilities. Yeah, that's pretty much accurate, sadly. Yeah, okay, 95%. I think that's what I said, 95. I think. Thank you, baby. So, get shit on too much, right? In June, you got to remember, June is Men's Mental Health History Month. But a lot of people don't know that. You know why? Because it's Pride Month. Don't get me right. I just went through this. Y'all know I'm an advocate. You know I got your back. But you got to have all your communities back as well. Yeah. But I got your back. But it dims the light on Men's Mental Health Month, right? Because when you think about it, when you get to the stats, right? Y'all know what I do. When you get to the stats of suicide, the highest rate of suicide is in men, boys. Yeah. I don't know if you knew that, but Google it. I had a student tell me one day in middle school student told me, female middle school student at that, told me, isn't it true that men are higher rates of suicide? Middle school. And I'm pretty sure 6th or 7th grade, maybe 6th grade, that told me this stat. I already knew the stat, but wanted to say it to me so I can confirm it in front of the classmates, right? And so you're absolutely right, but it's prevalent for a lot of people, right? Because they don't want us to talk about our feelings. They don't want us to share our feelings. They don't want us to, quote unquote, be soft. It's not being soft, it's being real. You bottle that shit up so long, and then it explodes. And then that's when shit happens. It does. That's when shit happens. Because it's bottled up for so long and people don't identify their trauma and their hurt and their pain, because they leave it bottled up, and then next thing you know, it just keeps getting bottled up, and then it fucking explodes and something bad happens. You know, with the loss of a life by suicide, or loss of other lives that had nothing to do with the whole situation, because they kept it bottled up and it explodes. Or you tell people, right? Or you try to confide in that significant other, right? About what's been going on in your life, what you experienced in your life growing up, and different things and different situations. And then they throw it back in your face. Can you imagine how that makes somebody feels when you open up and be vulnerable to somebody, and then they use it against you in a fucking argument because they didn't like what you said to me? Come on. And people wonder why men don't talk, don't seek therapy. Whew. Listen, it's crazy because my first therapy session was in 3rd grade. A lot of people don't know that. 3rd grade was my first therapy session. Really didn't know what it was because I was in 3rd grade, right? In my generation, 3rd grade. Think of the year I was in 3rd. I graduated in 96. So think of the year that was 3rd grade. Yeah, my parents was aliens, y'all. Flat out. Me and my brother had this discussion. My parents was aliens. They was too motherfucking cool. My mom was a registered nurse. She worked with the psychiatric patients, the kids and the adults. I seen my mom tackle this grown-ass man and sit on him until somebody else got there to help. So she knew what it was, right? She seen something and was like, I gotta have you go talk to somebody. Right? I see something. I see it. Right? So I went and had counseling. I was in a little room, you know, little kid table, because I'm 3rd grade. Lady talking to me. I don't remember too much about what we really talked about, but I remember being there. I don't remember where it was. I remember what the room kind of looked like, a bunch of wood paneling, because that was that era, right? Bunch of wood paneling, because that was that era. A couple toys. And she talked to me about my feelings, right? That was my first run in, right? First time of therapy, right? And I know I still need it, right? And I'm a lot of people's unlicensed therapist, because I don't want to go back to school. I don't, man. I really don't, man. I'm raising a fucking 4-year-old. That's a lot. Oh, by the way, I went and got information and some useful stuff on gymnastics. It's going down, y'all. It's going down for little mama. But I got shit to do. I got the podcast. I got, comedy, and I got raising my girl, and making shit happen and work, and so I want to be able to fit it in, and I need to take some of my own advice sometimes and look for some free counseling, because the shit, it ain't cheap, but they got free counseling out there. So I'm gonna have to follow my own advice. I need to follow my own advice, because I give people advice all the time, or information, as I like to say, because it's up to you to use it. You know what I'm saying? But men's mental health is serious, y'all. Like, and mental health, period, is serious, right? But it's like we get neglected so much. We do. We get neglected so much and shit on so much, where it's a problem. It's a problem. Some people didn't know it was Men's Mental Health this month. You know what I'm saying? And then on Father's Day, right? We get shitted on Father's Day. I seen a post saying, Hey, fathers, this is for fathers. This is for the men, the fathers. Let me know, like, hey, do y'all get good gifts on Father's Day? Not really. Socks, ties. Get me wrong. My son bought me a cool ass, because like I wore ties like every day for work. So he got me a tie. It was something useful, right? It was something useful. It was really nice tie. Don't get me wrong. But it's like, of course you don't want no fucking tie. I can go buy that shit myself, man. But thank you. I'm appreciative that you got me something. You know what I'm saying? You know, like Lil Mama made a card, a personal card from preschool, and she got to bring it home early. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. Because she ain't got no money. And she'd be like, let me buy you something for Father's Day. Bitch, I'm paying for that shit. I'm buying myself something. Like, what do you mean? You ain't buying me something. But the personal card that she made was dope. So I would have to put that at some of the top of my list of good Father's Day gifts. I think she at the top. The tie is right under it, right? Even when I was married twice, I didn't get good Father's Day gifts, right? But we go all out for the mamas. We do. And don't get me wrong, you already know. I love my parents. I have both my parents. I love my parents. Father's Day and Mother's Day. I went all out for both of them. My Father's Day go-to was buying his ass new shoes because he wouldn't buy himself none. I would buy him some Nikes, make sure they was, not because like the jeans is wide, the shoes is wide, right? You get a certain shoe size, but you want that shoe size, but wide. I will make sure I will find some dope ass Nikes. And that's what I would buy my pops for Father's Day every year. Some new kicks. Because I like my shoes. Like I tell my kids, I like my shoes. I don't say I love my shoes because I can do without them. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to die if I ain't got them. You know what I'm saying? So I really like my shoes. I do. I like to coordinate. You know, that's how I grew up. I like to coordinate. So I like my shoes. So that's what I used to buy my dad for Father's Day was new shoes every time, right? New shoes every time. And he appreciated it. He was like, oh, man, thanks, son. You know, shit like that, you know. But like fathers get shitted on so much, man. So think about a good Father's Day. Think about what you've gotten your father over these years. You know, and I know a lot of people didn't have their father growing up. I get it. But if you ever get the chance to actually know who they were, try to. Because when you really think about it, they was just doing the best they could. When we was kids, our generation, when we was kids, we wasn't thinking about having kids. We was young. We didn't know what kind of parent I'm gonna be. We didn't really think about that. Like, motherfuckers will play house all the time. But you really didn't sit down and think, hey, what kind of parent I'm gonna be? I can't wait to have kids. We didn't do that. Not at all. Our dumbasses used to be like, man, I can't wait to be grown. Ooh, I can't wait to grow up. I can do what the fuck I want. Ooh, yeah, I can do this and I can go there and I can do that, blah, 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 blah. Fuck being grown. That shit is overrated. Overrated. And you know it. You know it is. It's overrated, man. It is. So we didn't think about that shit. So you got to remember sometimes nobody had a blueprint on how to be a good parent. They just kind of went with the flow, right? Kind of went with the flow, right? Like my mom had both her parents, right? Had both her parents. My dad had both his parents together, right? So they kind of had a blueprint, right? And then for me and my brothers, we had both our parents, right? So we kind of had the blueprint, right? But then when you think about it, sometimes you don't put the blueprint with the blueprint, and sometimes you pick the wrong person to go in the blueprint. Just it don't work. You know what I'm saying? That puzzle piece didn't fit. That wasn't the right puzzle piece for the blueprint. You know what I'm saying? So listen, look out for the men in your life. Look out for the people in your life. Look after your strong people. Check in on your strong people. Check in on them strong men that you depend on. You know what I'm saying? That look out for you. Oh, my car messed up. What can I do to this? Oh, you know. And I'm not a car guy, but I try my best. But look out for the people that look out for you. Them male role models that you have in your life, right? Look out for them. Check in on them. Because it is Men's Mental Health Month. Check in on them. You know, get a good Father's Day gift. Ask what they want. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with asking what they want, what they're looking forward to. And a lot of us, I'm going to tell you this, a lot of us going to be like, I don't even know what the fuck I want. 9 times out of 10, I really don't know. I mean, I got a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? It ain't really nothing I need, but be creative sometimes. It won't hurt. Don't mind. It don't matter. It is the thought that counts, but when you really have the genuine thought behind it, that's what counts. Not just because you have to do it. You know what I'm saying? It's a difference, right? So look after your people. Make sure you know. You know what I'm saying? Men's Mental Health Month, y'all. Men's Mental Health Month. Make sure you check in on that. All right. All right. I'm not going to do a sponsor break. I might do that at the end. I probably won't even do it at the end, but y'all know who the sponsor is. Just Twisted Tomato Pizzeria. Make sure you check them out. 10% discount when you mention Just Therapy, the podcast. 3 locations, Cuyahoga Falls, downtown Akron, and the one in Stowe. Use Google, damn it. I'm not about to look up the numbers and go through it because I'm not doing the commercial. I'm not doing the sponsor break today. I'm not. I'm almost done here. I told you I wouldn't keep y'all long when I'm by myself, but I'm telling you this I can't wait to listen back to this shit because I've been spitting on this motherfucker today. Woo! It's a good episode. Last week was a good episode too. Make sure you check it out. It's a very good episode. Make sure you check it out, y'all, for real. Good stuff. Good stuff. Y'all know we always bring that therapy session. Next week, I'm excited. Make sure you don't miss next week. We're probably going to talk about trauma next week since it is Men's Mental Health History Month. But we're going to talk about trauma as a whole in men and in women and just in people, period. Got a fire-ass guest. I've been excited the day I met this person, and they're coming on next week. So make sure you do not miss out next week on the episode, because I'm telling you now, if I'm excited about a person, and I know I'll be like, oh, I'm excited about this guest, I'm telling you beforehand, y'all done heard me talk about this person already. So you know it's going to be fire. It's going to be fire. All right. All right. Y'all already know what it is. Y'all know what time it is. It is time. Yeah. For crazy, hold on. That's good stuff. It is time for crazy, funny, fucked up news. Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes I amuse myself. I make myself laugh a lot. It's funny. I'll be having fun with this shit. Like, why not? You know what I'm saying? Can't make yourself laugh. What's the point? You know what I'm saying? All right. So this week in crazy, funny, fucked up news. Yeah. All right, let's do this. So since, Father's Day coming up, I know, we get the short end of the stick, but I'm about to make fun of a dad right now. Fuck it. Why not? So this week in crazy, funny, fucked up news, a drunk dad reported his kid missing. But he just forgot him at home. Man, I should have brung out the soundboard for this one, because that would have been great in that situation. Like fucking fire in that situation because literally that headline is phenomenal, y'all. Like phenomenal. Like literally phenomenal would have been great right there, right? It would have. Yeah, and you already know what I'm doing, so we're gonna do it over again. Let's see. No, my shit. Hold on, because I have my own soundboard. Here we go. Here we go. All right. All right, so this week in crazy, funny, fucked up news, yeah. Why did my sleep shit come on? I need to see what's going on. All right, so a drunk dad reported his kid missing, but he just forgot him at home. I had to bring it up because like that, you need that sound for that headline, right? All right, so you don't have to be a genius to be a criminal. This is a post dedicated to the dumbest of the dumbest criminals. We assume some criminals are so into their plans of law breaking that they don't realize they are making some obvious mistakes that will lead to their capture. It could be something as dumb as leaving their ID in a home they just burglarized or committing a crime right in front of a police officer. Whatever dumb detail they missed, we are here to laugh about it, okay? So, the drunk dad reported his kid missing, but he just forgot them at home. A dad in Connecticut called the cops to report his kid missing after he popped into a grocery store and they were in the car when he got back. But it turned out he was just drunk and didn't realize he forgot his kid at home. He was arrested on several charges. Because he forgot that his kid was at home. Hilarious to me. Hilarious. You know why? Let's break it down. So, this dude went to the store 2 times because he was drunk, right? First time he had his kids with him, right? Went to the store, went with the kids, boom, boom, boom. Got some more beer. Wow. Got back in the car. Wow. Went back home. I don't know why. I don't know why. I was just doing Kevin Hart right there. Went back home, sat there, kids playing, he drinking some more, right? Oh, I'm out of beer. Like, first off, why don't you get enough beer or whatever you need while you at the store? Why keep penny pinching to go get a 6-pack and then go back to get a 6-pack? Just get a fucking 12-pack, make it last. You know what I'm saying? And then you should not have to keep going back and forth, knowing you might have to drive. Dumbass, right? That's one. So he goes back to the store, but forgot that he left his kids at home, which they ain't even old enough to be at home by themselves. And so he goes to the store, goes back in the store, gets more beer or whatever he was drinking, comes back out and was like, oh shit, somebody took my kids. What the fuck happened? Now he tripping out because he's drunk. He don't know where his kids at. He called the police, and then his kids are at home because he left them. Because he was drunk and he forgot that he left them. But when he got back to the car after getting out the store, he realized, oh shit, I'm supposed to have kids with me. And was like, no, kids are with me. Somebody took them. But then he didn't really think because he called the fucking police. Should have ran his ass back home first. To see if his kids was at home before he called the police saying they was missing. That would have been the smart drunk, but he's the dumb drunk. So he called the police and said his kids was missing, but they was at home. So his ass got charged for endangerment of kids because he left them at home by themselves, driving drunk because he came to get beer and he was already drunk, and he's dumb. Flat the fuck out. Like, come on, y'all, pay attention to what you're doing, man. Make it make sense. And that is this week's crazy, funny, fucked up news. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Well, that's pretty much the show, y'all. Y'all already know where it is. Y'all know what's coming up next, but that's pretty much the whole show. I told y'all I wasn't going to keep y'all too long. I wasn't planning on doing an hour and 15 minutes, but it did. So I appreciate y'all even checking in and chiming in today. And it felt like I was talking to myself besides my girl, and you could have like commented more. So I wasn't talking to myself, but the little comments helped. So I appreciate it. Okay. I really do. All right. Let's see. We go do the close. Something you can ponder on. I know it feels weird without my echo. It feels very weird without my echo. It does. It feels weird without my echo. My original co-host, Lil Mama, feels weird not to have her and not to hear that ponder. She be on it every day. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. Okay, so here is your close. Something you can ponder on until the next time you see us live every Monday. Just Therapy, the podcast on Facebook and YouTube, or next day on Spotify. And something to hold you over until the next time so you can ponder on. God willing, until the next time. All right. So here we go. Your quote this week is, shout out to all the men going through a lot with no one to turn to, because this world wrongly taught our males to mask their emotions. I just looked that up, right? But I already had just talked about that earlier, y'all. I just talked about it earlier, right? So I ain't gonna say it's almost like I'm a psychic, but you already know where I was gonna go with that. But I just talked about this earlier, right? So one more time. Shout out to all the men going through a lot with no one to turn to, because this world wrongly taught our males to mask their emotions. I'm not even going to break that down. What I want you to do, this is your breakdown. This is the breakdown I want to give you. It's an exercise. It's a homework assignment. Yeah, I'm giving out homework, motherfuckers. Check on your males. Check on your strong males in your life. Check on your males in your life, period. Empower them this month as much as possible. Let them know that their feelings are always valid and they have a friend in you. That's how I'm going to break that down, y'all. Listen, thank you so much for tuning in, chiming in to today on the couch. Thank you so much. I forgot what Miss BBC say. I think it says, if nobody's told you today, I love you, you are worthy, and you matter. I think that's what it is, but it's probably not. But you already know what I say. There's one thing you could never get back, and that is time. And I want to thank you. Oh, hold up. I'm like going too fast. I was about to close the show, and I forgot to get a shameless plug. So listen, this Wednesday, I got to let you know, this Wednesday, I am in Canton, Ohio, for a free comedy show. It's the JC Fair, June 12th through the 15th, 2024. It is at the St. It looked like Harambe, but it's not. It's a Haramlambas Greek Orthodox Church, 251 25th Street Northwest, Canton, Ohio. Comedy night is Wednesday, June 12th. I will be there. It starts at 7, ends at 10. It's a slew of funny comedians. I'm doing about a half an hour, and it will be family fun, clean. So bring your kids out. Go and bring your kids out to hear some jokes. Come support your boy. I will be there Wednesday in Canton, Ohio, and it's free. And also this Saturday, I'm telling you right now, this is an amazing show. You rarely get two headliners on one show. And when I mean this lineup is fire, not just because I'm in it, well, yeah, kind of, but Big sis, friend of the show, been on the couch before, so you already know. Katrina Brown and myself, Pub and Grub Comedy Tour, June 15th. That is this Saturday. So all my Virginia people who are close to Colonial Heights, come check us out. Please come say what up to your boy. Show starts at 10. Doors are at 9. And I think it's like $20 or $15 or something like that. But check it out. Check it out. So make sure you do that. All right. Now, here we go. So one thing you can never get back is time. And I want to thank you for spending your time with us on the couch. All right. We will see you next week, God willing, with a great show and a great guest. Listen, have a great rest of your Monday, y'all. Have a great month. Have a great week. I will see you on the other side, God willing. Peace. I'm out, y'all. I'm out. I'm about to hang up. If I was on the phone, I was going to hang up, but I'm just roll this out. And I'm going to talk over the music because I am in that mood today. So I will see you next week. Just Therapy on the couch. Thank you so much for tuning
welcome
in.
to Just
Make sure you go to Spotify.
where we talk about
and
life
follow us
with a comedy
and
twist. With your hosts, comedian Sean Boyd,
Love y'all.
Antonio Ferguson, and Miss KT. We talk about a whole bunch of shit from politics to people actually taking shits. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the therapy session. Man, this beat dope.
This beat is really dope.
Make a motherfucker want to rap. I can't rap, man. Hold on, here we go. I can't rap. I really can't. But come sit down on the couch with us. Man, I can't rap. Come to the couch. Enjoy the show. Let's go.